The one thing that separates human beings from any other species is our extraordinary ability to learn. From the moment we first walk the earth, we quickly realized the only defense against tooth and claw was to be one step ahead of predator or prey. In turn, we taught our children how to hunt, gather food, make tools, in short, how to survive. For hundreds of generations, this practical knowledge was passed down, resulting in a species that today controls the destiny of our planet. But are we now in danger of failing our children? According to internationally acclaimed educator John Abbott, society's single-minded drive towards economic profitability has created an educational system that overemphasizes classroom instruction, leaving many of our youth overschooled but undereducated.
Isn't it stupid to think that by the age of 18, everything that still has to be learned has to be taught in the classroom?
Abbott offers an interesting alternative.
And how about an environment where, in fact, secondary education means spending maybe half your amount of time in a building called school and half of your period of time with tutors who are not school tutors but are community tutors?
Evolving education, learning in the 21st century, follows students, teachers, parents, and administrators who are facing the challenges of the future by embracing the teachings of John Abbott. From bustling suburban and inner-city schools to a remote community in the Gulf Islands, this series challenges our traditional concepts of education. By stressing learning in the context of community rather than on instruction in the classroom, students are making decisions about their lives, about their local and global communities, and ultimately about the planet. Just off Canada's west coast, between Vancouver Island and the mainland, are a collection of small, picturesque isles known as the Gulf Islands. One of the most southern and remote is Saturna, 31 square kilometers of forests, rock bluffs, beaches, and a small, tight-knit community of about 300 people. There's only one school on the island, and with a special emphasis on the environment, the Saturna Ecological Education Center, or SEEC, offers a unique form of K-12 instruction to a small group of local children and teens from the surrounding island communities. For many kids, getting to school means having to take the bus. But here in Saturna, the bus is a water taxi.
I guess it's really different because instead of, traveling by road, you're taking a whole new way of traveling just by water in the boat. Not many, city kids would get that kind of experience. So it's something special.
Have you ever had to turn back because of bad weather?
No, actually, we haven't. I've heard of that happening to other school groups, but never to us. It's actually a lot of fun with big waves. You get a neat feeling, kind of sends shivers up your spine.
When it's really windy, it's really fun because the boat's really shaky and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it's great. I love it.
It's really nice to be on the water and the great view and the birds flying over you. And it's really quiet, much different than taking a bus to school.
The sun is coming out, so everyone faces the sun.
SEEC is not your typical school. The small three-room structure is the heart of a unique experiment that's putting John Abbott's principles of cognitive apprenticeship, project-based learning, and school-community collaboration into action. Steve Dunsmuir is SEEC's principal and the school's only high school teacher. He says he invited John Abbott to visit the school after hearing that Abbott's views on education matched his own.
I think I heard about John Abbott long before I met him. He was on Salt Spring Island to talk to the teachers there and talk to the high school students. And what I heard was the high school students went expecting to spend some time with listening to somebody and then forget what he said. But I heard they were so excited about his ideas. And I looked at that and went, well, we're doing that already here. So I have to meet this guy.
At an interview after visiting the school, John Abbott says he was pleased and surprised at what he found on Saturna.
And the high school students act as mentors to the elementary pupils. And it makes a total school of less than 20. It's a fantastic place. And the so-called high school students don't look like high school students any longer. They just look like very, very informed and fantastically good fun and well-motivated adults.
Along with their core curriculum subjects, high school students on Saturna must choose a project and work with a mentor as part of SEEK's Independent Directed Studies, or IDS program. Principal Dunsmuir explains.
Each of our high school students has a community mentor, so somebody in the community who shares a passion that the student has. And each of them has worked on a project that's a community-based project that they would present to the community at the end of the term. And the community mentor helps them. We also have a lot of volunteers from the community who come into the school and help out with the school. And my goal has always been to blur the lines between school and community so that they're both the same. So we consider the whole island our classroom.
Richard Blackburn is a well-known boat builder and sailor on Saturna. He was approached by high school student James Thibault, who wanted to learn to sail as part of an IDS project. But after talking about it together, Blackburn says they decided on a different tack.
It seemed to me that what would been more interesting for him and what he would get a bigger charge out of was to actually learn how to be a coxswain of our 6-oared longboat. And that would be manageable and something where he could learn enough skills that he then could go back to his class and demonstrate those skills and take the class out and be the commander on the boat and show him what he learned. And he liked that idea, and so we accepted that as a goal.
Thibault admits learning the mechanics of the boat was easy. Controlling the human element was a different story.
Like learning to tie a knot or learning to row, that's simple. But learning how to actually be in control, project your voice, make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and always looking to make sure that they're supposed to be doing what they're doing, and taking that leadership role, that is by far, that's the hardest part.
For 2 other teens, teaming up with a local marine biologist to create a field guide for the school was a perfect fit. Brittany Oswell says she and classmate Natalie Shergold learned a lot from their mentor, Priscilla Eubank.
We all had to come out to the beach, find all the species that are here, and decide together what we wanted to include, what we thought was important, and do the research. And Natalie took a lot of the pictures for us.
I had to trust that they would do the work and we'd come out at the end with something, and they had to trust me that I think in some ways, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
That I didn't overpower the project or that...
Didn't take over or anything. You were very supportive, yet you gave us our own room to figure things out for ourselves. But you knew when to step in and say,
tell us,
hey, look, this has to get done or you're never going to finish, kind of thing.
On Saturna, the bonds between school and community are strong. Everyone wants the best for the children. As many of the islanders are well-educated retirees, there's a large talent pool to draw from. According to Athena George, SEEK's school community coordinator, getting people to commit to a new program took a little ingenuity and a lot of persistence.
I stood for several days in front of the general store with a little clipboard and cards, and I said, what are your skills? And some people go, oh, I don't have any skills. And then 2 seconds later, they'd be rattling off this list of things that they could do. And interesting things. I mean, duck husbandry or chair caning, rug making, old-fashioned skills, too, that are sort of going by the wayside. So I have a list of hundreds of skills of islanders that they're willing to share with young people.